All right, my beautiful friends. It is Monday, June 17, 2019. I apologize for getting this video out a little late. I also apologize for no doodling. I was in computer hell this morning. I couldn't get any of this to work. So here I am. Let's talk about what's happening right now. And I want to read something to you just to start off. You're gonna love this one. This is just beautiful. You ready? The New York Fed's Empire State Business Conditions Index took a sharp turn for the worse in June, falling into negative territory, the largest drop ever in history, and the lowest in the last 2 years. Now, again, what does this mean? This plays right into everything that we've been talking about, or I've been explaining to you. We're in free fall right now. We are in an economic free fall. And how many of you would be surprised to find out that stocks are higher right now? They are. Stocks are higher across the board. Nothing major, but higher nonetheless. There's a lot of bond buying going on. 10-year yield 2.09. I mean, the writing is on the wall. So two things are in play here. Number one is there's still all this warmongering nonsense. Oh, look at the video. It's proof. You got Saudi Arabia over and over again now calling for something to be done, some decisive action. Their words, decisive action with regard to Iran because it's Iran's fault. This is Saudi Arabia, you know, the unholy alliance I just spoke about. Israel's even calling for something to be done. I mean, there's a lot of war-mongering rhetoric going on. And again, what will this do? It's going to prop up crude oil, prop up the energy sector, prop up the financial sector. Stocks will go up. Now, this abysmal piece of economic news, well, that's stock market positive too. Because the Fed has got to backstop it all. Now, I'm going against Jim Grant here, the Fed watcher himself. Jim Grant came out this morning and said he believes that the Fed is going to cut rates this week. Jim is a very smart man. There is no doubt about it. But I'm going to take the opposite side of that trade. I do not believe the Fed is going to cut rates this week for several reasons. Number one, let's look at the bond market now. Yields are dropping on their own just from the jawboning, just from fear in the market. So, you know, there's a lot of buying going on in the debt market. So the Fed is going to ride this out to the nth degree. Why cut rates right now when rates are coming down on their own? You understand? They're very slick at this. I do believe the Fed is going to set the groundwork this Wednesday. They have their 2-day meeting. It starts tomorrow. Like they already don't know what they're going to do. You got to be kidding me. Of course, there's a lot of people who already know. I mean, this stuff is just too stupid. But that's the deal here. And we'll see. We'll see if I'm wrong on this. I'm a little nervous. My record is pretty damn stellar with regard to calling the Fed. It's actually better than Jim Grant's. That's the truth. I love you, Jim. I think you're a really smart guy. But here I think you're wrong, only because the Fed is they're gonna jawbone this a little further before they actually cut rates. I think a rate cut is more likely in July, but we'll talk more when we get there. Anyway, we'll see. I am nervous going against Jim Grant, no doubt about it. We'll see how that plays out. So look, what's the bottom line? The bottom line is pretty simple. We are in economic free fall. Literally economic free fall here in the United States. We haven't had a single piece of good economic news in the longest time. And it's not just the United States. It's the entire world is in economic free fall. And the illusion that everything is just great and stocks are higher right now is because, again, just absolute unbelievable, I don't even know the word for it. I mean, propping up of crude oil, you know, warmongering, promises of more easy money from world central banks. That's what's keeping the illusion real. Once it disappears, it's going to get very real, very, very fast. very fast. Now, so with this in mind, you know what you should be doing. Number one. And number two, bet against the debt, become your own central bank, hold hard assets. Have you seen Bitcoin lately? At 3,500, this guy said it was a buy. I said it was going to 10,000. We're at $9,100 or something on Bitcoin. It's going to 10,000. Easily going to 10,000 in my view. Anyway, all right, so you got the summary here. Abysmal economic news. Stocks are higher nonetheless. Bonds are getting bought up. Yield curve, there is no yield curve. So what is it? This environment is so bizarre. It is so twisted. It is so absolutely out there. It just boggles the mind. All right, with that said, I'll see you at the end of the day. This guy loves you. Out.